Hi, I'm Dave from Heritage Quay. So you've decided to finally sort through those old documents that you've got in the garage, the shed, the loft, that tell the story of a life, work or organisation, and you're looking for an archive or museum to deposit it with. This can be a really daunting process, so we're here to give you some practical tips and advice on where to begin. The first thing to do is to carry out a brief survey. This will help answer a couple of questions archivists will have for you. What have you got? As in what your collection's about and how much is there. There's some other information that can be useful to know when you get in contact. Who owns the material? Where did it come from? Are there issues to do with copyright or data protection, kind of people's personal details? If you know that, great. If you don't worry about it, because the archivist will guide you through the process of figuring that out. So how do you go about choosing where your collection might go? If your items relate to the national government or the military, you should get in touch with the National Archives in the first instance. If your papers relate to a geographical area, a local council, or their church records, you should contact the right local authority for those documents. Here in West Yorkshire, that's the West Yorkshire Archives Service, but there will be an equivalent all over the country. You might also be wondering about the difference between museums and archives. Museums tend to collect objects, sometimes with associated papers, and archives tend to collect papers with occasionally associated objects. Archives are also interested in processes, so how a person or organisation has conducted their business. So you might want to identify the appropriate archive for you to put your collections in. There are so many to choose from. Where do you begin? The first thing you can do is to use Google or another search engine to help narrow your search down. If you put in people or places or themes in the papers that you have, that might be religion or politics or sport, and then terms like archives, collections, catalogues, you should get some good results on the first couple of pages of archives that have got collections that are in those spheres. You can also use the National Archives website to not only search their collection, but also other archives who've given them their listings. The Archives Hub does a similar job of aggregating collections together in one place. Those three sources should give you a short list of archives, so the next step is to check out their website and their collecting policies. All archives should have one of these, and they outline what collections they're interested in taking. We recommend contacting the archive at the top of your list and seeing if they're interested in your collections. If they're not, you can either go back to number 2 on your list, or the archives will happily put you in contact with who they think might be interested. In our next video, we're going to look at practical steps for how you can store your material safely and transport it to archives when the time is right. So we look forward to seeing you then. Thanks and stay safe.